Right, the last required practical for paper 1 is the required practical 4 on density. Now, there are 3 different ways of calculating density. One for the regular shape, like a cube, one for a statue or something that's irregular, could be anything that's not regular, statue, a car, a toy car, anything, a rock. And then you've got measuring the density of the liquid. We're going to go through all 3 really quick. Okay, so first one is the cube or a regular shape. So measure the mass of the cube using the mass balance. So remember, we're stating what we measure and the equipment that we use. Use a ruler to measure the length, width, and height of the cube. Now, the length, width, and height is the same everywhere. That's what makes it a regular shape. It's easy to measure with a ruler. So we'll always, for a regular shape, use a ruler and measure the length, width, and height. You multiply the length, width, and height to get the volume of the cube, and then use density equals mass divided by volume to calculate density. Now, you'll get this equation on your equation sheet, and you won't even have to rearrange it. So make sure if you get this, you can't remember the method, at least write down the equation in the space. Now, because you're watching this, you're going to remember the method anyway, but you know you've got a guaranteed mark if you write that down. Now, the small statue is different. So I would just do a separate section for the small statue, and I would say, measure the mass of the statue using a mass balance. So remember, stating what you're measuring and the equipment you use every time. Fill a displacement can up to the bottom of the spout. So here's what our displacement can is. There's the spout. We fill it to the bottom. Then when we put our object in, it overflows. Place the statue in the water and collect the overflowing water in the measuring cylinder. So you can see it's being collected in the measuring cylinder. Make sure you say measuring cylinder and nothing else. Don't collect the water with anything else. Use the measuring cylinder to measure the volume of the water. So the volume is just the measurement on the side. Wherever the water goes to, measure it to that level. Remember, you measure to the base of the meniscus. The meniscus is a little bubble that forms on the top of the water. You measure to the base of the meniscus and you hold the measuring cylinder at the eye height. The volume of the water is the volume of the statue, okay? Because the statue replaces the water, and the water can change shape in the measuring cylinder, and it gives you a really accurate measurement of the volume. Then you use density equals mass divided by volume to work out the shape. You've got the mass from 0.1, and then you've got the volume from getting the water and displacing it. Now, the last one is using this equipment to measure the density of a liquid. Okay, so let's get started. Place the measuring cylinder on the mass balance, okay, which we've done here. Zero the mass balance, okay. Pour the liquid into the measuring cylinder, and then you'll see that the mass balance is only measuring the liquid. Now, they haven't done that here, but I find it's a lot easier just to zero it, and then that mass balance tells you exactly the mass of the liquid. So read the mass off the mass balance, measure the volume using the measuring cylinder, and use density equals mass divided by volume. Now, from this equipment, you can work out the density. There's a good chance they might do this. So you know they haven't zeroed the mass balance here. So you know it's 201 to 230. So you know the mass is changed by 29 grams. Okay, so due to putting the liquid in. So the mass is 29 grams, and you divide that by the volume, which here you can see that's exactly between the liquid levels, exactly between 20 and 30. So it would be 29 grams divided by 25 to give you your density. And that's everything. Thank you.